Hi, I'm Thomas Sood. I'm running to be your NUS delegate on a Marxist manifesto. 8 people in our current world own the same wealth as the poorest 3.5 billion. Meanwhile, millions in Britain alone are forced into degrading and poor-paying jobs. We've seen the worst decade of wage growth since 1810, with the majority of people still poorer than they were in 2008, before the crisis. Racism, sexism, homophobia destroy the lives of billions, all while the environmental crisis spins out of control. What more do we expect, though, from a system controlled by the bosses in the interest of profit? It is not enough simply to tinker with the system, but instead radical change is needed. We must learn from history and draw strength on the masses of the exploited, rather than the exploiters. Arming ourselves with the ideas of Marx, we fight for a socialist society. We seek to change the world, but this cannot be done on our own. The National Union of Students holds leadership in the eyes of millions of students all across the country. So let's aim to start there. The NUS leadership should not be timid, but an active fighter in the struggle for a socialist society, and this is what I aim to achieve, I aim to vote for, if I'm lucky enough to be appointed as your NUS candidate. The NUS should fight for free education for all ages, removal of the artificial division of work and study, removal of big businesses from education, and the running of education democratically by the students, academics and staff, not unelected managers, nor the six-figure salaries of management. Free education should act as the bedrock for a democratic, planned economy which could improve the lives of billions across the planet, let alone. It is not only enough to achieve free education. Instead, we also need to face the massive crises affecting students across all their backgrounds, primarily of housing and health, especially mental health, affecting hundreds and thousands and millions of students all across the country. We argue for full living grants for students over the age of 16 so they can afford the mental health services and the extortionate rent. But we should do more than that. We should get free quality accommodation for all students. The NUS should be leading a fight for this. A national campaign of rent strikes organised by local strike committees all across the country, with the NUS actively training rent strike organisers, not giving support after the event has happened. We need to oppose the privatisation of the NHS and student health services, and with this we can put a stop to mental and physical health crises whilst creating a society fit for us all to live in, and allowing us to actually benefit of the education we receive, rather than spending days and weeks and months struggling to simply afford the rent to continue studying. As Marxists, we're opposed to racism, sexism, homophobia and oppression in all its forms. It's not enough simply to raise awareness of these plights, but actively change the material basis and the material conditions which give rise to such ideologies. We argue for the complete abolition of the PREVENT programme. We oppose all casualisation of staff and students, and we argue for free childcare for all. Our programme is ambitious, and we will be the first to admit this, but the only way to achieve it is an NUS which actively fights for the oppressed, is caste conscious and links up with progressive movements throughout Britain. The NUS should link up with the Corbyn movement, link up with the trade unions, and fight with the working class as a whole. We should not give in to the policies of the right which pretend to be apolitical, but instead fight on an openly political and an openly left-wing, class-conscious and socialist programme. Our oppressors are all the same. It is capital. Only by overthrowing this with a joint and bold strategy can we seek to change the world. Ultimately, the NUS should seek to be more than it is now, a creation of an active mass movement involving millions of students, democratically leading it from local grassroots campaigns with massive permanent social media campaigns and more, involving everyone from school students to further education colleges, to linking up with trade unions and apprenticeships, to linking up with organisations such as the Labour Party and the mass organisations of the working class. We have the power. The rich should pay to give young people a future. The biggest landlords, banks and businesses should be nationalised immediately with no compensation. Fund free education and create a rationally and democratically controlled economy. A system based not on profit but on need, a socialist system. Together as part of the organised working class, we can overthrow capitalism and transform society into one fit for humanity. The process is long, but it starts here. Support the Marxist candidate today. Vote Thomas Ood, myself. Thank you very much.